Hi friends, it's me again, Priscilla from Pretty in Paint. I'm here to show y'all how to put your honey squares together. I'm assuming you are opening up this video after you have all your squares made. This is a large lovey size, so this size is 3 squares by 3 squares, so 9 squares total. The pattern is written for a large lovey size, but as the pattern says, you can make any size you like. To be honest, like you can make a king size blanket if you want, but yeah, that's not my forte. I usually stick to more of like the kid sizes, and sometimes I'll do a couch throw depending on my mood. Anyway, here we are going to join these squares together. It is pretty similar to the clover square pattern if you have that one. We're just adding a couple more stitches. I will also be going over how to do the border in this video. So I will go ahead and put the little time marker on the pattern where you can find just the border if you decide that's what you need me for. The join as you go method is pretty simple and is also a mere suggestion. So if you feel like you do it differently or want to add less stitches or, you know, add a little bit of a thicker border, you totally can. You know, this is your blanket that you're making. This is just my pattern that I'm suggesting you to do. So here we go. So the squares are typically made with the 4mm hook, and then I do the join as you go method and the border in an H hook. So if you're using like chunky blanket yarn, I believe that's weight 5. I would recommend doing the squares in a 5mm hook and then doing the join as you go method with a 6mm hook. So basically you're gauging off of what yarn you're using. So like DK weight, I would probably use a 3 or 3.5mm hook for the motifs, and then I would use a 4 or 4.5mm hook for the join as you go and border. But that's just suggestions. Take it as you want it. So we're gonna go ahead and start putting some squares together. I went ahead and made 4 squares just to show y'all how to put them together. I will say here, let's tuck in our ends, guys, okay? So I tucked in one motif and I completely was like, no, I don't feel like doing the rest. But whatever, you know, I will do it at the end, I promise. Anyway, so there is no rhyme or reason to how you order your squares for this pattern. I know for the clover pattern there is different colors for each square, but if you're using the same colors for each square for the honey blanket, you basically just kind of grab and go. So I'm going to put these all in a pile. So typically if you're doing a large lovey, you'll have 9 squares. If you're doing maybe like a 4x4, you'll have 16 squares. So like just pile them up like right side up. So this is the wrong side and this is the right side, okay? Just so when you're connecting your squares, you want to make sure all your right sides are facing up towards you, okay? So we're going to start with the first row or the first 2 squares because that's all I got. Typically, I do use the core color of the honey square as my join color. As you can see on this example, so my core color is like this dark ivory color and I used it for my join as you go. But for the swatch we're making together, I actually am using scraps. So I don't think I have enough of this core color to join the squares together. I mean, I probably do, but I don't want to risk it for this video. So I went ahead and grabbed a random color that I caked. These are both the same color. This is Cherry Blossom by Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn. So I figured it kind of went. So for the sake of this video, it honestly didn't really matter what color I was using. I just wanted to use a color that contrasted well with the white so you guys can see it better. I will link in the video what colors I used for the rest of these motifs. So we're gonna take our H-millimeter hook and we're gonna join however you join to any chain 2 space of the motif. So I've done this in my clover video and I'll do it in this video. I typically join my yarn by tying a knot. I have no idea why, and this is just how I've always done it. Some people will like create a slip stitch on their hook and then slip stitch into the corner. I just make a knot. I have no idea why. I just do. And then I insert my hook here, I pull up a loop, and then I will chain 3. So the chain 3 will count as your first double crochet. I'm gonna zoom in here so you guys can see a little bit better. Don't mind me. This is my new fancy camera, so I'm gonna try working around it. All right, so the first chain 3 is gonna be your first double crochet, and then we're gonna put in 2 more double crochets. And so typically I'll hide this tail as I go. So we're going to insert our hook into that chain 2 space, and we're going to do 2 more double crochets. So this will be a total of 3 double crochets. Ooh, my yarn is splitting. That's what happens when it's old yarn, just scrap old yarn. So we're going to now chain 2, and then we're going to put 3 more double crochets into this chain 2 space. 1, 2, and 3. Let's see if my cake likes to unravel itself. There you go. We'll just take a couple out. So now we're going to double crochet across. There should be 16 stitches here. So I would count as you go. If you don't have 16 stitches, then something is off on your stitch count on your motif. So then if anything, you just have to frog it and basically restart that motif. Or the blanket will look kind of like funky. So anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and crochet 16 across, double crochet, sorry. Don't forget this first one. It likes to kind of hide under this cluster we made here in this corner space. So I just like to shift it over so we can see it. So we're gonna double crochet 16, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have to like remind myself to crochet a little slowly for this video. I tend to just kind of speed off and in my own little world, and I just kind of go. So I'm slowing down for y'all. So, and if there is a feature on YouTube that if you need to slow down the video or speed it up, you can. I believe it's on like the little settings button on the video, so you can click that for if you need that. Let me just unravel a little bit more here. So this should be 16, perfect. So now we've double crocheted 16 across, and now we're going to do the same thing we did in this corner. So we're going to put 3 double crochets, chain 2, and then 3 double crochets. So we're just going to mirror whatever we did to that first corner. Chain 2, and then we're going to put 3 double crochets again. My little cake, usually it unravels pretty good, but not today, of course, right when I need to record this video. Okay, so now this would be your top. So we started here in this first corner, double crocheted 16 across, and now we mirrored this corner to look like this one. So 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. Now we're just gonna go 16 double crochets down the side, and I just shimmy this over so I don't forget about this double crochet here. All right. I'm so very new to this recording myself thing, so sometimes I just don't know what to say. But I hope y'all are having a good day, and I hope y'all are enjoying this pattern. It was quite fun to design, to be honest. I'm a big sucker for flowers and retro designs and stuff like that, so that's kind of where I picked my inspiration for this. And here I go. I'm gonna make my way down to this third corner. So into this third corner, we're going to just put 3 double crochets and then 2 chains. So this is kind of what it should look like. Ooh, Priscilla, look in the camera. So I'm gonna just move one out here so you can see. So now we just did this is our first square. We're 16 double crochets down the side too. So we're gonna go ahead and add 3 double crochets into this third corner and then chain 2. Chain 2. So now we're going to grab our second square and we're going to join these squares with a standing double crochet into any of these chain 2 spaces you can pick. Just make sure that your motifs are right side up. So make sure that they're the right side up. So we're going to insert our hook, or actually yarn over, because you're going to do a standing double crochet. So yarn over. I'm going to have to get a little closer here so you can see. Okay, so we're going to yarn over. And we're going to hold that with our finger. Sometimes that just helps me. And we're going to insert our hook into any of these chain 2 spaces. And then we're going to pull up a loop. And then we're going to do a yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So there you have it, a standing double crochet. Isn't that crazy? Kind of cool, huh? So now we're going to slip stitch into the double crochet, like the partner on the other side. So we're going to take our hook. Let me see if I can get a little closer so you can see. And we're going to insert a hook from the front to the back. And we're going to pull up a loop. Oh, pull up a loop. And pull through both. So that's a slip stitch, okay? And you've created this like little nub on the end here, which is totally normal. We'll see that in a little bit. So we're gonna yarn over. We're gonna add the 2 more double crochets into this corner. So yarn over, pull through 2, create a double crochet. We're going to insert our hook into the partner double crochet on the other side and join. And then we're going to do this another one more, so they look the same. And then we're going to slip stitch into the partner on the other side. So this is what it should look like so far. So we have our little nub that we created with the chain 2, which is totally normal. And then our 3 double crochets to mimic this corner stitch or corner cluster on this side. All right, so now we're gonna go down. Ooh, my cake almost fell off the table. So now we're gonna go down the side of this square. So I'm gonna try going slowly here so you can see. So we're going to yarn over because we're gonna do a double crochet into this stitch here. We're going to double crochet 16 across, okay? So, but we're going to slip stitch into the partner on the other side to complete this side. So we're going to yarn over, insert hook, pull up a loop, yarn over 2, and then we're going to slip stitch into this partner on the other side. So we're going to insert a hook into that partner stitch. There you go. Pull through both. And there's your slip stitch. So we're going to continue that all the way down. So a double crochet. My cake is going to drive me nuts during this whole video. We're going to insert a hook into this stitch, partner stitch, and pull. There you go. And continue down till we reach the corner, and there should be 16 double crochets on each side of your motifs. If you want to double check that before you go ahead and start joining your squares, you probably should do that. But worst case, you just need to redo it or frog it. It shouldn't be too bad. We're just gonna go all the way up this row. There we go. And I've got like this fancy video editor on my computer, so maybe in some parts I might speed this up, but for this first join I will keep it as is so you can follow along, joining these 2 squares together until we reach the corner stitch of our second square. All right, I'm pretty sure I made it to my corner stitch. So we made it into that last double crochet. Now we're here, and there should be 3 double crochets left on this side for us to join to make a corner stitch. So we're going to yarn over. I'm going to insert our hook into this chain 2 space, create a double crochet. and we're going to slip stitch into the partner on this side. So we're going to continue this until we get those 3 double crochets. Oh my goodness. Wonder how many times I'm going to say this cake is going to drive me nuts in this whole video. Slip stitch. All right, so now that you slip stitch into that last double crochet, I just chain 2 so we can create then a corner stitch, and then we're going to put 3 more double crochets into this corner space. All right, so we're going to put 3 more. 1, 2, 3, and this is what it should look like so far. So we created 2 little spaces here where the squares joined. There should be like a little chain 2 space, little nub here on this side. Oh, mine like kind of inverted in, so it's okay. But there it is. It's like a little chain 2 space here. We'll see that in a little bit. But this is what it should look like so far. Let me see if I could go out a little bit so you can see what it looks like. So you can check your work. So far this is what it looks like. Now we're gonna go ahead and go down this top of the square, and then we're gonna go down across. And since I have no more squares I'm adding, because I'm only doing 4, we're gonna go down the bottom. But if you're adding more squares, you're just gonna keep, can do this direction here from the first square. We just do a half of a corner stitch here, and then you need just to add the square next to it. I really hope that makes sense. My brain, my words aren't working, but I figure this visual is way better than me trying to explain it in words. So bear with me. So if you're adding another square, you're just gonna redo what we did on the first square to join this square, and you're just gonna keep going down. And then once you're done with your final square, then you're gonna do what I'm doing here on the bottom. So if you want to pause the video so you're adding more squares, you should do that. So we're gonna go ahead and go up on the top and then down, and then we're gonna make our way back to this first square. So basically we started here, we went down, then we went back up, go across, down, and now we're gonna go back to the first square. So here we go. I may speed this part up, so if you want to pause the video here, you totally should, just so you can catch up if you need to. Made it into our corner stitch here, and we're going to put 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. So the same thing we did on this corner. Oh. This yarn little cake that I made, or maybe my husband made it, is driving me nuts. Chain 2, and then we're going to put 3 more double crochets into this. There you go. So now you have a corner. So that's what it should look like. Now we're going to double crochet across down this square. So I may pick up my little speed here. So if you need to pause the video, totally do that. All right, we made it to our third corner here. So we're gonna go ahead and put 3 double crochets into this corner space. Oop. Chain 2, 3 double crochet. All right, now since I'm not adding any more squares, I'm going pretty much down the bottom. Okay, so let's just imagine you're making a large lovey. Let's say you have 3 squares, so you would add the 3rd square here, and then you would continue this direction on the bottom. So once you're done with your last square of that row, you're going to I can't speak. You're going to put a full corner stitch, so the 3 double crochets, chain 2 and 3 double crochets. So now we're going to go down across the bottom, and there should be 16 double crochets again until we reach this half of the corner stitch here, because remember how we were putting the squares together in the beginning. There has only 3 double crochets in each of these chain 2 spaces. So we're going to complete that corner stitch there. So here I go. Oh my gosh, it almost fell off the table again. Oh man. So here we go. We're going to make it to our chain 2 space in the corner. Oh boy. There it goes. Perfect. So now I have my 16 double crochets down the bottom of the square, and now I'm here at my, I'm trying to zoom in. Fancy camera, remember, first video ever on this fancy camera. So we're here at this chain 2 space in the corner. So we did put 3 double crochets here previously, so we're just going to add 3 more, and then we're going to chain 1, slip stitch into this little nub, chain 1, and then we're going to put 3 more double crochets into this chain 2 space. So we can follow along here. We're going to put 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to chain 1. Is there really a piece of hair? I shed a lot, y'all. So put 3 double crochets into this chain 2 space. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to slip stitch into that little nub that we created in the beginning. Just kind of insert my hook into this little chain 2 space. So and we're going to slip stitch just like so. We're going to chain 1, and then we're going to put 3 double crochets into this chain 2 space. Voila. So that's simple, isn't it crazy? So now we're going to double crochet 16 down this square, the first square that we added, and then we're going to do a half corner stitch here. So the 3 double crochets and chain 2 on this corner. So let's go down. So I'm currently doing this video while my daughter is taking her first nap this morning, and so far so good. She did not fight me going down, so hopefully it's a good nap. I know these videos tend to take me a little while to make, since I do try to go a little slower than I typically crochet. So, my hook got stuck somewhere in there. So we're making our way down. All right, so almost there. Now we're at that corner. We're going to put 3 double crochets, and then we're going to chain 2. So now I'm going to show you what it looks like so far. So I'm going to just turn my work right side up again. So let me go back a little bit here so you can see. So we're not going to complete this side. This side is completed at the end. So just leave this bare. Now we're going to add our next square right here to the bottom. And we're going to continue that method that we did here when we're joining with the slip stitch to the partner double crochet. But I'll go ahead and show y'all how I do that. And let me see if I could. There is a knot in my yarn. I guess when I was caking these, it was 2 separate skeins. Good thing for scrap projects. So we're going to do a standing double crochet into any corner space on the motif. Same way, keep your motifs upright. This is the back side, this is the right side. So we're going to yarn over. I usually hold this so it doesn't go anywhere. I'm going to insert my hook into any of these chain 2 spaces, insert my hook. See how I took off my finger and it kind of went everywhere. So I'm going to yarn over, hold that, insert my hook into this chain 2 space, pull up a loop. Now I'm going to yarn over 2, yarn over 2. So that is your standing double crochet. And now, let me see if I can get a little closer so you can see. I'm going to slip stitch into that partner double crochet. So we're going to insert a hook from the front to the back, pull up a loop and slip stitch. Now we're going to continue that motion to finish this corner stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over 2, yarn over 2, insert your hook into that partner double crochet and slip stitch. Yarn over, this is our last double crochet for this. Oh, hello knot, how are you doing? Yarn over, oh, you're gonna be difficult, huh? And pull through 2, and then pull through 2. Wow, that was way more difficult than it needed to be. I'll just pull that knot to the back. And we're gonna slip stitch into that last double crochet from the corner. So now we're gonna continue our way this way in the middle. So don't mind that knot. Yarn over, double crochet into the next stitch. And this should be 16 double crochets across. That number does not change. Slip stitch into the partner. See if I can see better here. I might have to zoom in just a little. Yarn over, double crochet, slip stitch into that partner stitch. Yarn over, double crochet, and we're going to slip stitch into that partner. We're going to continue that all the way down until we reach the corner. So here we go. Down the middle, connecting our squares together. And I've said this in my previous video in the clover. Once you get this motion like memorized, or even like the join as you go portion memorized, it comes very naturally, and I'm pretty sure you'll probably not want to join any of your squares any other way. Initially for this pattern, I actually wanted to sew my squares together, but I really liked the thickness between the squares, so I was like, the join as you go is probably better for this pattern. But I do have a pattern in mind that I want to sew this squares together, so that should be interesting. Anyway, we're making our way down to our corner space here. And got one more. Okay, so now here I'm at my corner space. So there should be 3 double crochets here for my little partner slip stitches. Okay, yarn over, double crochet, slip stitch to my partner, yarn over, double crochet, slip stitch. And it's just my, oh, I did trouble there. And then we're doing our last one here. So now we're going to chain 2 and we're going to complete this corner. So we're just going to leave this alone for now because we're going to go down this 3rd square. So let me see if I could show y'all how far we've made it. Okay, this is it so far. Oh, so we basically worked this square onto the 1st square across the top. So now we're going to go down, the side, and then we're going to join our last square of this swatch together, and then go up across, down, and then down the bottom, and then kind of cool, huh? And like I said, the more you do this, the more natural it'll come to you, like holding your hook and your yarn, and it'll go by quicker, promise. So now we're going to continue down this side of the third square. So we're going to chain 2 to create that corner, and we're going to put 3 more double crochets into this chain 2 space. All right, and then we're going to double crochet 16 across this side, and we're going to do a half of the corner stitch here. So the 3 double crochets, chain 2. So if you tend to go ahead of how fast I'm going, that's what I just wanted to let you know for those people. But if you're not one of those people, go ahead and slow this video down, or you can pause it and then just pick up, press play when you're pretty much caught up to where I am. So here I am just making my way down. And yes, I do tend to crochet quick. I figured these little areas, you don't really need me to go too slow. This pattern is for advanced beginners or intermediate, I would say. If you need help with basic crochet stitches, I would go ahead and Google how to do a double crochet, or even YouTube. YouTube has a bunch of people that show you simple stitches, simple basic crochet stitches. I do plan on making a couple shorts on how to do basic crochet stitches, but I have to get there. I need time to do that too also. So if you're having trouble with certain stitches, go ahead and YouTube that, or Google. Anything will work. So I went ahead and put my 3 double crochets into this third corner stitch here. I'm going to add 2 chain 2 here, just so I could add my 4th square with a standing double crochet. Let's see if I can move my stuff here. All right, so now we're going to yarn over, and I hold on to this loop here so it doesn't go anywhere. I'm going to insert my hook into any of these chain 2 spaces, and we're going to pull up a loop, and we're going to do a double crochet. So pull through 2, pull through 2, and there is your standing double crochet. And now we're going to slip stitch into that partner double crochet. So that first double crochet, or last rather, double crochet we just made on that previous square. So slip stitch, and now we're going to add 2 more double crochets into this chain 2 space to complete that half corner, but remember to slip stitch into its partner. So here is my last one to create this half corner. So far this is what mine looks like for anyone who needs a visual. So we have like that little nub that we needed over there to slip stitch in. So we created another one here, and that's normal. Now we're going to just go across here, and then we're going to get to a little tricky part here. And this part will work for all of your 4 square meetups in your blanket. So let's go ahead and double crochet 16 across. Do that together, and then we'll get to that meetup in the center. It's like a little intersection. That's what I like to call it, a little intersection of squares. So we're making our way down. I'm actually really liking this pinkish color with these colors I picked for my motifs, which are actually pretty cute. I like how it stands out a bit. Maybe I could use this little swatch as like a little stuffed animal lovey. That's a good idea. Maybe like pair it with a bear from Mama Made Middies, or a duck from Mod Threads. That would be cute. Or even a bear. Like a bear from Mod Threads is cute too. Anyway, and just throwing out some people out here on this video you probably don't know, but I'll link them down below if anything. Alright, so now I'm in my corner space. So I just put my last double crochet into this stitch here. So we're going to go ahead and complete this corner stitch. So we're going to put double crochet, we're going to slip stitch into its partner on this square, double crochet, slip stitch into its partner, and the last double crochet. And instead of slip stitching into its partner on this intersection, I slip stitch into this chain 2 space. It won't look weird, I promise. It joins a little bit better. So we're going to slip stitch into this chain 2 space, and then we're going to slip stitch into the square like diagonal. So this square here, we're going to slip stitch into this chain 2 space here. Let me see if I can turn this around. So we just slip stitch into this chain 2 space on this square. Now we're going to go diagonal into this square, and we're going to slip stitch into this chain 2 space. Let's see if I can. There it is. This chain 2 space here. So we're going to enter a hook here. We're going to pull up a loop and slip stitch. So I can do that again just so it doesn't look so confusing. Ooh, my yarn is splitting. So we just slip stitched into this square, into this chain 2 space. Now we're going to slip stitch into this chain 2 space right in here. Slip stitch. And so we're not going to chain at any of these intersections. We're just going to be slip stitching into the chain 2 spaces, and then we're going to continue our double crochet to finish this corner, and then we're going to double crochet across. So we're not chaining. We're just going to yarn over and do a double crochet as normal, and then we're going to slip stitch into its partner. So these 3 double crochets you see here, we're just going to slip stitch into that partner here. Slip stitch. Perfect. And then we're going to just complete that corner, continuing to put it into this corner space. And the corner is done. So now we're going to double crochet 16 across this way, like we've been doing on all the other squares. So double crochet into each of the stitches and slip stitching it into this partner. We're going to continue this down. Perfect. And it's funny, my first video that I made, it was literally almost an hour long. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is so long. I feel bad for anyone who's trying to like skip through it or like speed through it. Ugh. So I like promised myself that this video would probably like try not to be as long as the first one, but I think I'm I think I'm almost there. I'm at almost like 40 minutes here, and we're not even almost done. So but that's just the raw footage. I still have to edit this video, so we'll see how long this video is. So we're just making our way down this square. We're attaching with slip stitches onto our partner. I think I made it to my corner stitch. Yes, I did. So this is where I'm at. I'm going to add the 3 double crochets into this corner stitch, slip stitch. We're going to slip stitch here, double crochet. I wonder if anyone else talks to themselves while they crochet. I do that a lot, so I wonder if anyone else does. So we're going to go ahead and chain 2 to create this corner. And we're going to put 3 more double crochets in this chain 2 space. Oh wow, my hook is squeaking again. Anyway, so this is what it looks like so far. I will zoom out so we can see what we're working with. Okay, so we just added these 2 squares, and it's looking pretty cool. I really like this pink color with these other colors. It actually looks pretty good. I was unsure about it at first, but it was the first thing I grabbed. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause this video real quick. Give me 1 second. All right, so we had a little malfunction here. My battery actually died on my camera, so I went ahead and plugged it in. Anyway, now we're back. That was probably like nothing for y'all, so I feel like I did this on the Clover video. Don't mind me. This is my first time, well, this is my second time uploading a video on YouTube, and I swear I'm still all over the place. But anyway, now we're gonna go ahead and double crochet down this side of the square. Hopefully I can zoom in here. There it goes. So we're gonna go ahead and go down this side of the video. Let me see if, why is this not, there it goes. I'm like, why is it not zooming in? don't be too dead on me. So now we're gonna go ahead and double crochet 16 across down this square. Ooh. Yeah, so that was scary. I totally didn't even think about checking to see if the camera was even fully charged, but not too bad. I'll just add these videos together. Hopefully it's a seamless add. But here we go. I'm going to just double crochet 16 across. Here I go. And the sun decided to get covered by a cloud, so the video is probably a little gloomy right now, but hopefully that cloud will move soon. So now I'm at my corner space. So my corner space, I'm going to put the chain 3, not chain 3, wow, double crochet 3, chain 2, double crochet 3. I can't speak this morning, oh my goodness, but hopefully this visual helps y'all put your squares together, and we're just gonna make it through together. So I went ahead and created my corner stitch here. I have to move my camera a bit. Ooh. And then we're gonna go down across. I always find this is like the easiest part. Like when I get all my squares done for my row or my column, that's basically my favorite part is going down the bottom. So we're going ahead and put our double crochets here. I may speed this part up, so we'll get to our chain 2 space. So this is just gonna be me crocheting at regular speed. We're just double crocheting into each one of our stitches here. There should be 16. And my hook is squeaking again. Oh my gosh, I wonder why it does that. I really do. So now I made it to my corner stitch. I'm gonna put a half corner, so basically 3 double crochets, and I'm going to chain 1 and then slip stitch into this nub, chain 1, 3 double crochets into this chain 2 space to create that corner. So we're gonna go ahead and put 3 double crochets. Ooh. Chain 1. We're gonna slip stitch into this nub here. Oh, why is it getting so dark? I don't get it. Uh-oh. We're gonna slip stitch into this nub. I might have to go turn the lights on, so BRB. Hopefully that's a little better. I think that's a little better. Okay, so now we're going to chain 1 here, and we're going to add 3 double crochets into this chain 2 space to complete this corner. And then we're going to double crochet 16 across into this, and then we're going to actually, we're going to go down the last side to complete the blanket. So we're going to go ahead and double crochet into each one of these stitches. I may speed up this part. And it looks like I need to make more memory on my, oh my goodness, as my, like again, I'm still new to this, so I'll be right back. All right. I don't know how to explain this any better, but I have no idea what I'm doing. I hope that, like, I love how the transition from the last clip to this clip is just gonna be like insanely quick, but that was really 10 minutes of my life trying to figure out how to plug in my camera. So here I go. This is what we have so far. just refresh my own memory too. So we went ahead and added all 4 of our squares together. If you're making a larger blanket, of course you'll have more squares. But now we're gonna go down the bottom and, oh, not the bottom, this is actually the side. Wow, this is the side. And connect here with the slip stitch. So to our first ever double crochet, which was that chain 3. So let's go ahead and go up the side of our blanket. I'm just hoping I don't have to do this again. I did that with Clover. Clover I recorded twice. The first time I recorded her, I was just crocheting way too quick. And yeah, but we'll see how this one turns out. And we're just gonna go down across. We're gonna reach our little nub and then the corner stitch. I call it my little nub. I'm so terrible. It's like the little chain 2 that we do when we're doing the standing double crochet. So I'm just gonna double crochet across here. Ooh. There it goes. Now we're in our corner stitch here. Let me go ahead and get a little closer so you can see. We're gonna put 3 double crochets here. Now I'm over here hoping my little one doesn't wake up while I'm trying to finish this video. Chain 1 after our 3 double crochets, slip stitch into the chain 2 space, the little nub here. We're gonna chain 1 again and put 3 double crochets into this other chain 2 space to finish that corner. And now we're going to double crochet 16 across, and we're going to slip stitch into that first double crochet, which was the chain 3. So just gonna continue down here. And it's my camera is now currently plugged into the wall because it was just like completely dead. And my screen, like the little viewfinder, it looks so dark. So I'm hoping that when I upload this video onto my computer, it's not this dark, but if it is, I do apologize in advance. So, all right, we're making it to the end here. And we're going to slip stitch into the top, the 3rd chain of that first double crochet we made. And I'll show you how I do it. So typically I take my hook and I go through both of the loops of that chain 3. You can slip stitch it however you like, but I usually just go through both of those loops. There it goes. And slip stitch. So now we're going to do the border around. We're just going to do one more, oh, wrong way. We're just going to do one more wrap around in this color, and then we're going to change to our border color. So we're just going to do one wrap around a double crochet. So I'll go ahead and show you how to do that. So because we're going to get to these like square meetups, and that's where it kind of gets tricky too. So we're going to chain 3 after we slip stitched, chain 3. This will be considered our first double crochet, and then we're going to double crochet into the next stitch. Let's see if I can get closer. Next stitch here. We're going to just double crochet pretty like right across, and then we're going to put 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets into each of the corner spaces. So just like we were doing before. So the corner stitches haven't changed, or corner spaces haven't changed. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to crochet across until we get to these square meetups. Oh, I forgot to finish off my double crochet here. Tend to do that a lot. Okay, so shimmy this over. Oh man, and the chair I'm sitting on, y'all, it is not comfortable. It's not comfortable at all, but here I am. We're gonna go down until we get to that square meetup, and ooh, my My cake is just slowly getting closer to me. Oh my gosh. So we're just gonna make it to our little meetup here. Oh, perfect. So now we're at the 2 squares that join together. I double crocheted in that last stitch here. So what I do is I put 2 double crochets into this chain space, and I put 2 double crochets into this chain space. So we're just gonna put 1, 1 and 2, and then we're gonna put 2 more here. 1, ooh, I slipped, and 2. So that's what it should look like. And then we're going to continue down until we get to the next corner, and we're going to put the corner stitch here, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and then we're going to continue all the way across or around the blanket until we reach our first double crochet. So until we reach here, that first chain 3, we're going to slip stitch, and we're going to change our color here. I'm going to pause the video here. I'm going to finish the rest of this border round, and then I'll meet you back here where we slip stitch and change our color. All right, so we just finished that. I guess this is the first border round after we joined as you go, and now I'm going to work on the second row. I do change colors here, so I'm going to go ahead and snip this color off. Just leave a long enough tail for it to for you to weave, like tuck it in your ends. And I'm going to use actually the center color for my border. So figured I should have enough for that. I feel like this would have been enough to do the join as you go on this one, but I didn't want to risk it. And I love how this is my scrap yarn. I just kind of, sometimes I just throw some funky skeins into like a bin, and this is kind of how I pulled it out. Oh my goodness. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pull a couple pieces out because I feel like this is gonna have a baby. Here I am having a baby. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that should be good enough for now. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and join this. Let me see if I can zoom in. Easier, slowly but surely, here I go. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and insert my hook into that chain 3, which is the first double crochet, into that third chain. So I'm going to go ahead and insert my hook there. I'm going to pull up a loop from the contrast color, the border color. And I'm going to pull through here just like that. And voila. So now I've changed my color. Typically I just drop both of the tails down. Sometimes I want this tail a little bit longer, so I'll just pull. And now we're going to start with the second row of the border. And this row is just going to be single crochets around. So we're going to just chain 1. This doesn't count as anything. We're just going to go ahead and put a single crochet into the same spot that we slip stitched. So we're going to go ahead and put a single crochet in the same spot as we slip stitched. Here is our first single crochet, and then we're going to single crochet around. And all of the corner spaces, we're going to put 2 single crochets, chain 2, and then 2 single crochets. So the corner spaces will be different than the previous round. So 2 single crochets, chain 2, 2 single crochets. So we're going to go ahead and start with the single crochet row. Let's see if I can get a good angle here on the camera. Oddly enough, when this is a separate clip. It's been already 4 hours since I recorded the first couple clips, and my daughter is napping for the second time today. So here I am again. Hopefully it was a seamless transition. I think I put on my Instagram stories that my camera died and a bunch of y'all were messaging me back with like sad faces, and I'm just laughing because this would be my luck. But anyway, I went ahead and single crocheted across, and in my chain 2 space here, I put 2 single crochets, chain 2, 2 single crochets. And then we're going to go ahead and continue around. Ooh, let me zoom out so you can see. I'm gonna go ahead and single crochet around the blanket once more, like just one round, and then I'm gonna slip stitch to that first single crochet we had, and then we're gonna start the third and final round for the border. So I'll meet you back all the way around to here. All right, so I went ahead and went all the way around, and I'm going to slip stitch to my first single crochet. Let me zoom in here so I can teach y'all how to do the third and final row. So we're gonna go ahead and slip stitch into that first single crochet, and here is where we start. So we're gonna go ahead and single crochet into the same spot we slip stitched. So single crochet, and we're going to chain loosely 4. Or actually, let me just double check that. I think I wrote, let me see, downloads. I'm looking up my pattern real quick here before I steer you all wrong. Let's see. I believe it's chain 4. Nope, it's chain 3. See, that was wrong. So we're gonna chain 3 loosely, and then we're just going to slip stitch into that first chain from the chain 3 we did. So we're gonna slip stitch into that first chain, and then we're going to single crochet. I did 7, I believe. Let me see. Let me just check my pattern here. I think, yeah, I believe I did 7 on the large lovey. This is how far I wanted my little picots separated. So totally up to you. You can do less stitches in between each of the picots. Oh my gosh. Please tell me in the comments how to freaking say it. Anyway, you can do less or more single crochets in between each of these. I just chose 7 because it kind of worked out perfectly for the lovey, stitch count wise. But totally up to you. You can mess around with this. You can put them closer together and then farther apart, closer together. You can totally have fun with it. So for this one here, I'm going to just do, let me see. 6. Let's do 8. No, we'll do 7. Let's just do 7. So we'll go ahead and single crochet 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And since I'm so close to this chain 2 space, I'm going to go ahead and just put a single crochet into that space. So the picot or picot stitch will be in the corner. So I'll go ahead and loosely chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. We're going to slip stitch into that first chain, and then we're going to continue on the single crochet train. So we're going to go ahead and single crochet 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then we're going to do another one of those. 1, 2, 3, slip stitch into that last chain, and we're going to continue on. So we're just going to repeat this all the way around to have this cute little simple border. Let me see. You guys could do maybe like 3 single crochets in between each picot, or you can do 10. It's totally up to you. I just kind of play around with it sometimes, depending on what pattern I'm doing. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish this off. But you can go ahead and decide how far apart you want yours to be. So I'll be right back. All right, so I went ahead and did all my sides with the border, last row, round 3. I was able to get all my little stitches in all the corners, but you can do however you like yours to be. Mine just kind of worked out to be between 7 and 8 stitches apart. So for this odd 2x2 square swatch that we're doing here for the video, but I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch into that first single crochet that we did make in the beginning of this round, and then I'm just going to fasten off and then we'll be all done. I really hope y'all enjoyed making these squares and joining them. I know granny squares are a labor of love. I know they do take time to make and put together. I'm a weirdo and I tend to push my slip stitches to the back. So it's just easier for me. Anyway, so there it goes. It's gone. So as I was saying, thank you so much for being here, learning this join as you go method for the honey squares. I know it's a little different than the clover, my previous video, but pretty much about the same idea. So the border is just different, and the corner stitches were different and less squares because these squares are much larger than the clover squares. But that is all I've got for y'all, and I hope you enjoy this pattern as much as I had designing it. I do plan on making a couple of free patterns for the holidays, so keep an eye out for those. I'll be uploading them onto my YouTube channel. I do also have plans on doing some basic crochet skills like basic stitches and how to do just a basic like swatch for those who are just learning how to crochet. So, but thank you so much. Subscribe to my channel, and if you have any, concerns, comments, questions, anything, just shoot me a message on my Instagram. I'll link that down below. Also, if I think you can also email me. Email me is good. I check my email every day. So if you do have any issues at all with this pattern, just, contact me and I will help you through it all. So this is it, and I'm going to sign off. Bye.